Food and Drug Administration has issued a new warning on tattooing. Joining us with the details is our 9 News health expert, Dr. Payal Kohli. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. So talk to us first about why the FDA issued this in the first place.
You know, tattoos are becoming so popular. There's estimated that about 30% of Americans have at least one tattoo. And so over the last 20 years, the FDA had been getting all these reports, dozens of reports of contaminated tattoo ink, contaminated with bacteria that was causing serious infections in people. So they actually did a study to look at random samplings of tattoo inks, and they found that up to 49% of them are contaminated with bacteria because the manufacturer and the storage are not highly regulated.
We're talking about half the tattoos pretty much.
That's exactly right, which is why this is very alarming because it's such a popular thing to do. So many people do it. You don't really think about what's going in your skin being potentially contaminated, potentially causing life-threatening infections.
What happens when the ink is contaminated?
So if you think about what happens when you have a tattoo, you know, your skin, your outer layer, the epidermis, is actually an immune barrier. It protects us. So when you puncture it, and you puncture it 100 times per second when you're getting a tattoo, and you're actually depositing the ink into a deeper layer, which is called the dermis, that doesn't have the same kind of immune protection. So if you're putting in contaminated inks deeper into the skin, you're actually giving them a direct conduit, not just into the skin, but also into those damaged blood vessels, where they can then get into the bloodstream, get to your heart, get to other parts of the body.
Okay, so not only do you have to think about what you want on your body long term, you have to think about where you're going to get that tattoo from. How do you go about choosing what's safe and what's not?
Yeah, so you have to have some tips and tricks. Of course, the FDA is talking to the manufacturers, which is something that happens before it even gets to the tattoo parlor. But even the way that it's stored in the tattoo parlor can give you a lot of clues about whether it's safe or not. So you first want to look around and see if they have a lot of carpet, because carpet is not a good idea in a tattoo parlor because it can have dust and contamination. You want to see if they're storing the inks in an open container that's uncovered. That can, of course, be problematic because it can get contaminated really easily. Not storing it anywhere near air vents or air ducts or anything like that. You want to make sure that they're not mixing it themselves, because the mixing process can cause contamination if the utensils that are used are not clean. Sometimes some local tattoo parlors will add like some pigment into it, and the FDA really warns against this because if you use unregulated pigment, a lot of this stuff is used in printer inks or in automobile paint, you can actually introduce those really serious chemicals into your skin as well.
Well, with more and more people getting tattoos and 49% having this is a great tips for people to, if they're planning on going, look around the shop and just double check things.
Yes.
It really is. And the regulation, I would say, is lagging. It's kind of state and local authorities that regulate. The FDA has some say, but it's not legally enforceable. So it's really upon us when we're thinking about getting a tattoo, which is a fun thing to do, make sure you do it safely. Make sure you're doing your due diligence.
All right. Well, we appreciate you helping us take care of ourselves. Dr. Kohli, thank you.